Why do you support Palestine?
Okay, why do I support Palestine? Because my conscience does not allow me to do so. To the otherwise.
What is wrong with supporting Israel?
The wrong of supporting Israel is there are Zionist entity is not Israel.
What is the Zionist entity?
Well, the Zionist entity, it is not the entity seeks legitimacy by using the name Israel, but the Zionist entity is not the Israel mentioned in the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran.
Okay, but is it really wrong to support Zionism?
Yes, it is wrong to support Zionism. Zionism is pure evil.
What is Zionism exactly?
Yeah, Zionism is the idea of Jewish that people need a homeland and that homeland should come at the expense of the native population of Palestine.
So it is the idea that Jews are superior to the non-Jews.
Not all Jews support Zionism, and some Jews believe that to establish a homeland for Jews, to call it Israel, is contrary to Jude religious law, and they call for the removal of the Zionist entity and the complete liberation of the state of Palestine. To answer your question, yes, a lot of Jewish population subscribes to the idea of the Jews are superior to non-Jews, and so the non-Jews do not deserve to be treated as equals and can be killed with impunity.
Where do these Zionists come from?
The Zionists came from the Zionist entity is basically a European colony, except even more brutal and evil than European colonies of the 15th to 19th century in the America, Africa, and parts of Asia.
So they're mostly European Jews.
Yes, there are most Jews who came to Palestine beginning in the 1920s, as well as their many descendants who continued the terrorist policies of the founders of the Zionist entity, which was declared a country in 1948.
So they are terrorists.
Yes, indeed, they are terrorists.
How so?
Their behavior in 1948 would certainly qualify them as terrorists. They used violence to force the native population of Palestine from the land they wanted for themselves. Vast cities and small villages were depopulated and resettled by foreigners. They used Judaism to justify their terrorist policies, to justify murder. So it is correct to call them Jewish terrorists.
Are they continuing their terrorist ways even now in 2025?
Yes, nearly every day they wages a war of ethnic cleansing, of genocide, and the few areas of Palestine that remain under Palestinian control and governmentship. Most especially Gaza, the Zionist regime based to Tel Aviv sends their terrorist army into Gaza Stripes to attempt to finish the job extremely and native population to Palestine.
But they at least spare the lives of children, right?
Their goal is genocide, so they spare nobody. They aspire to completely erase the Palestine people and the state of Palestine from the face of the earth. They go so far as to deny the existence of Palestine and Palestinian. They declare the Palestinians are just Arabs and just abandon their homeland in favor of living in neighborhood countries like Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Egypt.
They sound like horrible people, the Zionist Jews.
They are the worst of the worst people. Their hearts are filled with hate. That is why I cannot support them. I must support Palestine. I support the total dismantling of the terrorist Zionist entity, the return of all Palestinians to their hometowns which are currently under Zionist occupation. It is important to note again that I am not anti-Jewish or even anti-Israel. I am anti-Zionism. I am anti-hatred. I am pro-justice. I am pro-peace, and it is important to note also that Palestinians are Muslims, Jews, and Christians. The native people of the land are a mix of Muslims, Jews, and Christians. Okay, thank you for listening to me. Bye-bye.
Thank you for explaining that to me.